Before, I could not become a lawyer or a Supreme Court justice.
Before, African Americans did not have basic civil rights or the right to vote.
Before, I could not be the President of the United States.
Before Raphael Warnock, I could not be an African American senator.
Before, I could not vote as an African American woman.
Before Kamala Harris, I didn't think I could be a woman elected to a high office.
After Thurgood Marshall, I could be one of the leading justices of our highest court.
After Ruby Bridges, children of all races were able to go to school together.
After John Lewis, African American voices can be heard with their right to vote.
Because of Mr. Warnock's efforts, I could run for the Senate when I grow up.
After I, Barack Obama, people of color can hold the highest position in the U.S. government.
After I, Stacey Abrams, was able to run and become a politician in the state of Georgia, now women have a voice in politics.
After Kamala Harris, I know I can be Vice President of the United States of America.
In 1965, John Lewis led more than 600 peaceful protesters across the bridge to Selma to fight for African Americans' right to vote.
Thurgood Marshall was the first black justice of Supreme Court. He promoted racial equality through law.
Raphael Warnock was the first black senator in the state of Georgia.
I went to Yale Law School to become a lawyer. I am fighting to create a Georgia where people's voices will be heard.
I was the first black woman to be elected district attorney of San Francisco, California. I was the second black woman to ever be elected as a U.S. senator. I made history by being not only the first woman, but the first black woman to be the Vice President of the United States of America.
We are striving to forge our union with purpose.
No one really gets to say at 22, I am the inaugural poet.
We've learned that quiet isn't always peace, and the norms and notions of what just is isn't always just is.
On the Wednesday in which we saw the insurrection at the Capitol, that was the day that the poem really came to life, and I really put pedal to the metal.
We've seen a force that would shatter our nation rather than share it, would destroy our country if it meant delaying democracy. And this effort very nearly succeeded. But while democracy can be periodically delayed, it can never be permanently defeated.
I wanted it to be a message of hope and unity, and I think that Wednesday for me really just underscored how much that was needed, but to not turn a blind eye to the cracks that really need to be filled.
But one thing is certain: if we merge mercy with might and might with right, then love becomes our legacy and change our children's birthright.
Poetry is a weapon. It is an instrument of social change, and poetry is one of the most political arts out there because it demands that you rupture and destabilize the language in which you're working with. Inherently, you are pushing against the status quo, and so for me, it's always existed in that tradition of truth-telling.
For there is always light if only we're brave enough to see it, if only we're brave enough to be it.
I am breaking barriers. I am Black history.
John Lewis, at the in one of the I forgot. In one of the marches.
Was able to run.
You good?